Hi, my name is Ricardo. I'm going to be telling you what I did today on Thursday, the 19th of January. So, in today's lesson, we had research with Ryan. We did the normal stuff, basically just normal research. We did task 3 actually. I was able to finish off task 1. Task 2 was the introduction. I did some of it. I still need to add some words to it, but I'll work my way through it, so it's all good. So the next one is task 3. So now in task 3 now, I need to basically it's like a synopsis of like the story I've chosen. So on task 1, I've sort of done that already, but I just didn't know that. So I've kind of like done extra work really, but it's all good really. So I basically just find the story which I want to do. I tell them what sort of parts I want to do, like quotes basically. So like, say for instance, I do the Crucible, which is a very known one which I'm doing. Say for instance, I'm talking about costume. I can talk about like how the women will have their hair covered up because during this time period they believe that they shouldn't show their hair to men or just anyone really. Just well, it was mainly men, but like basically they always cover their hair to show their pureness, to show themselves as pure basically, so holy, because they were very religious back then. They believed in heaven and hell. They believed that heaven was a real thing, and if there was any like witchcraft and anything like that, they would simply burn them, drown them, or hang them, which is the most common one really. And that actually happened in the Salem witch trials. So yeah, we'll basically just do that for task 3. It has to be 1,500 words. So yes. After that, Ryan, he told us that he put us into groups. We had to create a scene, basically a protest, any protest we like. So he put me with me, 2 of my friends, and we were originally going to do a he basically gave us a rule. He said that you can do any movement or anything you like that we've learned in the past this week and last week, but you just can't speak, which is fine because we've been doing that anyway. So yeah, so we had my groups. We were originally going to do like a teachers protest. So teachers, so this was my idea and my friend's idea. So we were like, we should do a teachers protest. So 2 students are messing about. We have this one teacher who gets really annoyed. He doesn't get paid as much, so he decides to leave. And the students see the trouble they cause because they want to mess about, and at the end they sort of like, get back together, which I thought was sweet. My friend had a different idea, which I was hesitant at first, but I was like, hang on, let me hear both. Excuse me. Let me hear your story. Then I'm like, maybe I can compare it to mine. So I heard her story, and hers was about train strikes, which is most common at the moment. You have people who want to basically, just don't want to do their job because they feel like they're getting paid less, so go on strike. So her plan was basically to like, well, she didn't really have a plan, but she just suggested it, and I was like, if we can make it like a sort of plan, then yes, we can do that. So we said train strikes, let's just do that, or train protests. So during that time period, we just said, okay, what can we go with? My friend came up with the idea of going like this to show that I'm on a train, but I thought that was too kiddish. So instead, I sort of went with like that, like, because like the wheels of a train do something like that. So I thought of that, and we're like, yeah, that works. So I was basically going like this really, and there was people. I said to my friends that you should come off either this side or that side because we're going to be in a circle. We do our normal formats. So I said maybe that side because what I want to do is, how a train opens a door. So sorry if this light is too bright. Let me. There we go. So normally is I'm gonna go like, so this is when it's closed. So I'm gonna go in the middle and go like this. Stop. Arms up. Arms wide open. Then they can go under my arms. That's like one of the movements. So going through, or yeah, basically going through. Once they go through, they go behind me. One of them's on their phone. One of them's looking outside the window, and I basically just slowly close my arms and continue on going. My partner gave the idea of going like this, so going like bouncing. So she advised me to bounce 3 times and then turn like that. So 1, 2, 3, turn. But when I turn, of course, the people at the back will copy me. They'll follow my lead and turn as well. So 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it'll be something like that. That's what she suggested. I was like, you know what, let's work with that. And then afterwards, once I stop, I have my arms out again, partners leave, and then the idea was, it's like, once I stop, I get off the train, the person that, basically my boss, I'm like, you're gonna pay me now? Let me turn on the light again, because it's dark here. So my partner comes back, no, my partner, my boss comes to me, he gives me a little bit of change, I look at him like, is that it? And the message was behind is that, yes, they really don't get paid enough, and sometimes it's a struggle for them, because after that scene, my, tax man comes up to me, he's like, I need the money, or not need the money, but like, you gotta pay up. I only give them a little bit of change, they don't take, well, they take it, but it's like, is that all? So our main sort of focus was like, basically we were trying to show them the lies of like what happens to them, like they really need this money but they just don't they don't get paid that much. So because of that, I then do the movement thing again, and my arms up, I let the person go through, I'm about to close them, my friend pushes my arm, because like, you know, like when you're really late to a train, you just run in, push the button, like, all right, let me just open the doors, or they just sometimes open the door themselves. So he sort of like pushed my arm, went under my arm, I was like, okay, fine, you know what, that's the final straw, I'm leaving. So that's what I did. I left the scene, and my friend suggested that we add like different stories, like the effects of people who need a train. For example, my partner is just on her phone calling her boss saying, I'm going to be late because there's a train strike. The boss, of course, is upset, and my friend imitated the bus by going like this, and he zoomed past her, showing that, oh, she just lost the bus. Another scene that we did for my other friend was that this causes lots of traffic, basically, like people stuck in traffic, and you know what that causes, all that longness. And the final thing we did was a movement thing of my 2 friends trying to like persuade me, trying to join back to like basically like come back to my job because they need me. And that's what we got up to. We wasn't able to perform them because my partner had to go early, but we did find a song, we timed it, it was at least 4 minutes and 18 seconds. So it was really good, really. I think what we struggled on the most was like coming up with new scenes. That's what we mainly struggled on. I remember what Ryan said, like, most of Fires and Peace, you don't have to like think ahead. Like, it's important to take your time and see where things go. Like, who knows, you can be doing something and next minute you're like, wait a second, let's add this. Like, there's no need to like plan out to be like, oh, let's go from here to here to here to here to here. Like, there's no need for that. So you can just simply take your time and it will be all right. Because not just my group, but I looked over and there was lots more groups that had the same issue. We only watched one group though who did Black Lives Matter, and they were really good. They chose a song that best fitted them. They had a good freeze frame. I liked the way how like they changed shape during their performance. It was really good. I liked it a lot. And yeah, one of my strengths was probably coming up with the ideas of the train thing and the arm movement and the final scene basically I came up with. And yeah, the research I can use into this was the research I did in the past with the whole movement thing, because I mentioned that we got to we got to include those movements, so through, eye contact, and I think it's rotate. I think that's the one. If not, then I'm sorry if I'm wrong. But yeah, that's what we did today. And yeah, I don't think there's anything missing. Yeah, I think that was it. I think we all worked together really well. Well, some groups, I'm not going to name names, but yes, we all worked together. So that's what we did.